こんにちは、皆さん。今日、私たちは日本語を勉強しています。質問があれば、聞いてください。Hello everyone, today we are studying Japanese. If you have any questions, then feel free to stop and ask me at any time. We're continuing with Anki. 夜中に道で、Okay, 夜中に道で大きな声、夜中に道でお腹声がして、uh, I think that means something of surprise. Let's see. Ok- I think it was okoroku. So okoro kimashita. Okoro kimashita. So 夜中に道で大きな声がして怒きました。
驚く。夜中に道で大きな声がして驚きました。
Oh, 驚く。So it's 驚く。
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 夜中に道で大きな声がして驚きました。
夜中に道で大きな声がして驚きました。
夜中に道で大きな声がして驚きました。夜中に道で大きな声がして驚きました。
夜中に道で大きな声がして驚きました。驚く。うん。携帯を、携帯をな、携帯を、携帯をなくして、something います。
困る。携帯をなくして困っています。
困る。携帯をなくして、携帯をなくして、携帯をなくして困っています。
携帯をなくして困っています。
Notice this following the pattern of having a phrase that ends in a connected form or te ending, and then they say the result of that phrase after this. So, 携帯をなくして困っています。困る。
携帯をなくして困っています。
携帯をなくして困っています。困る、困って。Of course, it's conjugated as komate because this is an utsuru godam verb. At least I like to call them utsuru because it's a good way to remember them. Basically, an utsu or ru ending a godam verb. And the way you can remember that is utsuru means to move, as in like moving between apartments or houses. Komaru. Owaru. 会議は4時に終わります。
終わる。会議は4時に終わります。
終わる。会議は4時に終わります。終わります。じ、よ、会議。出す。彼はカバンから9 something show 9箇所彼はカバンから9箇所を出した。
出す。彼はカバンから教科書を出した。
彼はカバンから教科書を出した。
彼はカバンから教科書を出した。彼はカバンから教科書を出した。
彼はカバンから教科書を出した。教科書出した。彼。出す。他。Well, in this case, I think it's supposed to be ma in this case, but same kanji as hoka. Just different pronunciation for it. Let's see. So, 留学生はアジア人が多く、留学生はアジア人が多く、そのまは3割です。
他、留学生はアジア人が多く、その他は3割です。
Okay, so it's ta in this case. Ta. 留学生はアジア人が多く、その他は3割です。割 ?3 他多く人アジア留学生
留学生はアジア人が多く、その他は3割です。他、留学生はアジア人が多く、その他は3割です。留学生はアジア人が多く、その他は3割です。
留学生はアジア人が多く、その他は3割です。something let's see, 返してください maybe? Oh no, this is ma let's see. And this kanji is oh yeah, that's right. Now I remember this is to rotate, which is or in this case, the fact it's being conjugated as shiten means it's uh the transitive form, which is mawasu, not mawadu, which is the intransitive form. Mawasu. So mawashite. And I believe this is the kanji for arm, so that's ude maybe? So ude will mawashite kudasai. Ude will mawashite kudasai.
腕、
腕を回してください。
腕
腕を回してください。
腕を回してください。回して腕
腕を回してください。
腕を回してください。 笑い、あの人は悪い人です。
悪い、
あの人は悪い人です。
悪い。笑い、悪い。悪い。
あの人は悪い人です。
あの人は悪い人です。悪い。この、この状況では、出発は忙しいです。このこの状況では、出発は忙しいです。
状況。この状況では出発は難しいです。
That's right. 忙しい is busy. 難しい is difficult. That's right. 難しい。難しい。この状況では出発は難しいです。難しい。出発。状況。この状況では出発は難しいです。あ、以外。私は雨の日以外。私は雨の日以外は自転車で学校に行く。私は雨の日以外は自転車で学校に行く。
私は雨の日以外は自転車で学校に行く。私は雨の日以外は自転車で学校に行く。
私は雨の日以外。私は雨の日以外は自転車で学校に行く。彼女のsomething を見てきます。様子、様子、はい。彼女の、let's see, how do I remember this as 様子? Let's see, 彼女の様子を見てきます。様子、
様子。彼女の様子を見てきます。
彼女の様子を見てきます。見てきます。様子、彼女。あ、時がI think it's 過ぎる。時が過ぎるのは早い。
過ぎる。時が過ぎるのは早い。
過ぎる。
過ぎる。過ぎる。
過ぎる。
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 時が過ぎるのは早い。
過ぎる。時が過ぎるのは早い。
過ぎる。早い時。Remember, this kanji for hayai is the one that has to do with quickness and not have to do with being early. 9 19は9人で1チームです。
9、野球は9人で1チームです。
野球。9、
野球は9人で1チームです。野球は9人で1チームです。野球は9人で1チームです。野球は9人で1チームです。
野球は9人で1チームです。Yeah, this is the one that has the audio mistake in it. Okay, 野球は9人で1チームです。So 1チーム、人、9、野球。If I remember correctly, the cube has to do with a spear. Yes, the cube spear, and the yeah has to do with a field. Odoroku. So, 夜中に道で大きな声がして、驚きました。夜中に道で大きな声がして驚きました。
驚く。
夜中に道で大きな声がして驚きました。夜中に道で大きな声がして驚きました。
夜中に道で大きな声がして驚きました。驚く。携帯をなくして
困る。携帯をなくして困っています。
困る。
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 携帯をなくして困っています。携帯をなくして困っています。
携帯をなくして困っています。困って携帯なくして。Oh, so I was looking into the different types of nouns in Japanese, since most words and nouns are Japanese. And you basically have your regular nouns. Then these are used with, and then you have your pseudo nouns, basically nouns that can be used like verbs with pseudo. You have your keiyo doshi, or your na adjectives, which are nothing more than nouns that can be used as adverbs. Then you have your I'm not really sure what to call these nouns, but your base basically nouns that can be used as adverbs without without any other particles with them. And one example of this would be yukuri, and an example of this class of noun would be would be yukuri. Anyway, let's continue. Let's see. 携帯をなくして困っています。困る。留学生はアジア、留学生はアジア人が多く、その他は3割です。
他、留学生はアジア人が多く、その他は3割です。留学生はアジア人が多く、その他は3割です。
留学生はアジア人が多く、その他は3割です。割、3、他、多く、人、アジア、留学生、他。悪い。あの人は悪い人です。
悪い。
あの人は悪い人です。
悪い。あの人は悪い人です。悪い人、悪い。状況。この状況では出発は難しいです。
状況。この状況では出発は難しいです。
この状況では出発は難しいです。
この状況では出発は難しいです。
この状況では出発は難しいです。難しい。出発。状況。過ぎる。時が過ぎるのは早い。時が過ぎるのは早い。
過ぎる。時が過ぎるのは早い。
過ぎる。時が過ぎるのは早い。過ぎる時。時が過ぎるのは早い。早い過ぎる時。9、野球は9人で1チームです。野球は9人で1チームです。
9、野球は9人で1チームです。
9、野球9は9人で1チームです。携帯をなくして
困る。携帯をなくして困っています。
困る。to be at loss, be in trouble. 困る。携帯をなくして携帯をなくして困っています。困る。
携帯をなくして困っています。
携帯をなくして困っています。困る、困って。驚く。夜中に道で大きな声がして驚きました。驚きました。声、大きな道、夜中、驚く。
驚く。
夜中に道で大きな声がして驚きました。
困る、困って。驚く。Okay, so
夜中に道で大きな声がして驚きました。
夜中に道で大きな声がして驚きました。女、something はsomething 女の人でした。Oh, あ、あ、it was 若い yeah, so I think this is usually in when used. I can say in for some reason. Let's see.
女、店員は若い女の人でした。
若い yes. Okay, so 女、
女、店員は若い女の人でした。
困る、困って。困る is to be at a loss. That's right, yeah. 店員、
店員は若い女の人でした。
店員は若い女の人でした。女の人、若い、店員、
店員は若い女の人でした。
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 So, 女の人、若い、店員。Is that the kanji for Migi on the bottom? Migi. Yes, it is. Migi with what I call the airplane symbol above it. So, Tain, I believe that's ya when used in shop words. Yeah, that's mise. And Hanya. Oh, that is not the same kanji. Oh, let's see, what was jewelry store? Jewelry store was... Oh, here it is. Yeah, Hoseki ten or Hoseki for jewelry. So Hoseki ten. Oh, so it's usually the same ten pronunciation as it does in its store words. Konnichiwa, turn as. Genki desu ka? Let's see. Sono otoko ni その男に比べる to compare 比べるその男に比べるとその女はもって美しいです。See what he said. Let's see. Compared to that man, that woman is even more beautiful. その男に比べる There's the compared to that man that oh, I see. So no, I'm guessing this is the with use of the to particle. So I guess if you reorganize the sentence, you could say it's sono onnanoko wa, and then sono otokonoko ni kuraberu to. So with compared to that man in mind, utsukushi desu. So moto utsukushi desu. The woman is more beautiful. That's interesting. I did not know you could use the with meaning of the to particle to basically say with some phrase in mind, essentially. At least that's what I think you're doing in that grammar. Tones wa hai genki toimashita. I assume that is correct, Turnaz, that this to in the sentence you pasted is the with meaning being used to say with that statement in mind, or is to being used like the quoting particle, not like with in this statement you posted? Let's see. Turnaz wa to is usually used to sum up stuff, I think. Toimashita. Turnaz wa, like here, I'm summing up the stuff on the left of it and adding the stuff to the right. Toimashita. I know you're saying it's used for summing stuff up, but I was just curious what the technical use of the to is being used. Is it being used as the quoting particle in that sentence? Is it being used as saying with something like you see like when you're saying you're doing an action with someone? See, I'm summing up the clause and then illustrating the effect. I'm not entirely sure. Toad's lumped all up into one thing for me. That just means summing up. Yeah, as I mentioned before, I was looking into some grammar things, and apparently there's some rarer uses with toe. There's see, as a quotation, it sums up the phrase that was said before as something that was said or thought. Usually the way I see it acted as a quotation myself is that the following parts of the sentence are acting on what's quoted essentially. Like for example, how I say blah 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 to imashita as the was said kind of thing is acting on the phrase of what came before it. See, as being done together, it sums up groups of things that are performing or doing actions mutually. As a result, it sums up causes or introduces the effect. So, let's see. その男に比べると、その女の、そう、OK。その男のに比べると、その女はもっと美しいです。Anyway, what I was saying is I was looking up some other uses for particles, and I saw there's naru, which, from how I understand it, is basically the na particles you see in keiyo doshi or na adjectives. Only the entire purpose of saying naru instead of na is to make the sentence sound fancier, and that's how I understand its meaning. And then there's, yeah, naru comes from I think it comes from no aru, if I remember correctly, which is I think where na comes from for na adjectives. I might be maybe remembering that wrong. Uh, and then there's taru, which comes from to aru, and it's basically just used whenever any situation you'd want to use to aru. Essentially, you use taru. So this is the same pronunciation when this kanji is used in stores or mise. Like, let's see. The store I gave an example was a Hoseki ten, or jewelry store. So, 店員は若い女の人でした。困る。携帯をなくして、あ、 困っています。
困る、携帯をなくして困っています。
困る、携帯をなくして困っています。I actually wanted to ask about the sentence turn as. Would you know why nakushite, which I know comes from nai, uh, means like to do without? Like, how exactly in the grammar does nakushite mean to do without? My closest guess. Oh, that's the verb nakusu. I thought that was something else. Let's see. Nakusu. Oh, to lose something. So nakuste. Oh, so yeah, nakuste would be lost, yeah. Okay, I was thinking that was nai and shite. I didn't realize that was another word entirely. So that's nakusu. So transitive verb nakusu, and it uses the same kanji as nai. So to lose something. Nakusu. Oh yeah, arigatou gozaimasu. Okay, so 携帯をなくして困っています。困って、なくして、携帯、なくす、困る、be at loss, be in trouble, okay. あ、情報、この情報では、出発は難しいです。この状況では出発は難しいです。
この状況では出発は難しいです。
Oh, it's 状況。状況。
状況。
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 状況。状況。Let's see. この状況では出発は難しいです。難しい。出発。状況。店員は若い女の人でした。
女、店員は若い女の人でした。
女、店
員は若い女の人でした。
店員は若い女の人でした。女の人、若い店員。Alright, let's see. That just looks like the kanji used for words that pronounce as ri. And that looks sort of like Nai's kanji. Let's see. Nai. Yeah, that is Nai's kanji. But I think this word is, let's see, Yuri. Mainichi. Arubite. Oh, Oh, this is moody. That's right. That's right. They use nai in kanji and moody. So, 毎日アルバイトをするのは無理です。毎日アルバイトをするのは無理です。
無理。
毎日アルバイトをするのは無理です。
無理。毎日アルバイトをするのは無理です。無理。毎日アルバイト。この状況、so this is 状況。この状況では出発は難しいです。難しい出発状況。
状況。この状況では出発は難しいです。
この状況では出発は難しいです。難しい出発状況。生きる100歳まで生きたいです。100歳まで生きたいです。
生きる。
100歳まで生きたいです。
生きる100歳まで生きたいです。生きたい100歳多い6 6月は雨が多いです。
多い。
6月は雨が多いです。
多い。6月は雨が多いです。多い雨6月。Remember, since we're saying the month is June, we're not saying 6 months time span, but we're saying the 6th month of the year, June. You say gatsu. You say kagetsu if you want to say a time span. Let's see. Something redu. Something o. Yonin. I mean yonin. Yeah. Something o yonin. Kan. Something reteimashita. So something about something occurred over a 4-year time span. Probably has something to do with where people live, since this is the kanji used in house. What if this is apartment complex? Let's
離れる。実家を4年間離れていました。
離れる。Like that kanji looks like. So, juka?
実家を4年間離れていました。実家を4年間離れていました。
Jika.
実家を4年間離れていました。
離れる。Jika o 4年間離れていました。I was away from my parents' house for 4 years. So Jikan is probably parents' house. Jika. Jika. So one's parents' house, Jika. What is this kanji next to house? So jitsu, truth, reality, sincerity, honest, fidelity, content, substance, good result. So, in other words, the truth house, the reality house would be your parents' house. Jika. So,
実家を4年間離れていました。
実家を4年間離れていました。離れる、離れて、離れる。離れる。実家を4年間離れています。離れて、年、よ、実家離れる。困る。携帯をなくして、携帯をなくして困っています。携帯をなくして困っています。
困る。携帯をなくして困っています。
困る。携帯をなくして困っています。困って。なくして。携帯。Let's see. 言うまでもうないけど、wait, not said until, let's see. それが言葉です。That word is not said until. Let's see, translation. Needless to say, that's the word. Oh. Wait, is that supposed to be you? So, you mare. So that's the until said or something. Until said anyway. Cicero. Interesting. What's the grammar behind that? You mare mo nai ket. Let's see if I just get rid of everything after kettle. It goes without saying. You mare. Now if I get rid of the mo, it needs scarcely be said. let's see, until, up to. What's the grammar behind that? How does that first part of the sentence make it goes without saying? You said iu made mo nai kedo. I know iu is to say, made is until, nai is saying like not existing. Mo tends to have a meaning of at any time. Let's see, made marks iu as the limit. Mo does what Mo does. Nai negates it. So if I understand correctly, the way that Made's marking EU is it's saying until said, essentially. Then Kato adds but. But is that a good rough understanding of its literal meanings? EU Made is like until said or something like that? Yes, okay, so EU Made until I say so, up to a point. So up EU Made is up to a point, so EU Made Mo would be up to all points. And then EU Made Mo Nai would be up to no points. So at no point, another way of saying is iumade until I say otherwise. See, turn as wa. It's complicated. That's why I just memorized iumade monai as complete unit. Toimashita. Yeah, I try to not remember grammar as complete units because if you know why a grammar structure is made the way it is, you can build grammar structures in other ways. So, needless to say, and then それが言葉です. That's the word. That's. See if I just drop everything off after the mo. It's just needless to say. Let's see, it goes without saying. I think this is a translation error at this point. Okay. Yeah, I noticed translation software is really terrible at like modifying the sentence grammar to see how it affects what's actually being said. It doesn't know how to comprehend it, and it will basically try to give the definition of the words that are normally associated with those words instead of what those words actually mean. See, 彼は私と 同じで、犬、あ、あアレル、アレルギーです。うん。彼は私と同じで、アレルギー、allergy. Oh, so inu arerugi would be dog allergy. So it's like he is with he's the same as me. To having a dog allergy, I think you said. So 彼は私と同じで犬あアレアレルギーです。He he like me is allergic to dogs. Okay. アレアレルギーアレルギー Anyway, continuing this. 困る。携帯をなくして困っています。
携帯をなくして困っています。
住票、この住票では出発は難しいです。
状況、この状況では出発は難しいです。
Oh, 状況、not 住況。Yeah, 状況。状況。この状況では出発は難しいです。So, 難しい。出発。状況。離れる。時間を4年間離れていました。時間を4年間離れていました。
離れる、実家を4年間離れていました。
離れる。時間を4年間離れていました。離れて、年よ、実家
を4年間離れていました。
離れる。実家を4年間離れていました。I was away from my parents' house for 4 years. 離れて、年間よ、実家。状況。この状況では出発は難しいです。この状況では出発は難しいです。
状況、この状況では出発は難しいです。
状況、この状況では出発は難しいです。難しい、出発、状況。初めて、東京に来るのは初めてです。
初めて、東京に来るのは初めてです。
初めて、 Tokyo ni kuru no wa hajimete desu. Hajimete? Let's see. Kuru, Tokyo. And notice that the kanji for hajimete is different. When you use this kanji when you want to talk about things being like a first time, versus when you want to say begin, which would be the other meaning of hajimete. Let's see. Oh, warau. Akanbo ga waratte imasu.
笑う。赤ん坊が笑っています。
Warau. Akanbo ga waratte imasu. Akanbo, which if I understand it correctly, is a much older way of saying baby. Akanbo ga waratte imasu. Warau. Akanbo. Let's see. Let's see what Tonas was saying. Let's see. Watashi wa ani to chigatte hon o yomu. Oh, chigau difference. Watashi wa ani to chigatte hon o yomu. So I read different books than my brother, I believe. Is that a saying? Oh, okay, that's not saying that at all. That's saying, unlike my brother, I read books. Oh, I see. Basically saying I'm different than my brother, and then you're saying that you read books. Okay, so yeah, that's right. That's why it's implying that the brother does not read books. So, watashi wa ani to chigatte hon o yomu. With hon o yomu and ani to chigatte sharing the same topic, which is watashi. Let's see. Sono Jodan. What's a Jodan? Jodan joke. Funny story. Omoshiroku na nasasu kita agita. See, nasu, to form, to make. This is nasasu. What type of word is nasasugita? So that looks like it was changed to the A stem, nasa, and then you added. Oh, sugi, that's sugi on there. Oh, sugiru. So, yeah, that's right, that's from sugiru, so that is, to exceed, to be in excess. So, wait, you put it in a stem when you're attaching. Oh, maybe nasa is supposed to be used as a word word by itself. Let's see, nasa. I I think you're trying. I think the sentence is trying to say I make too many funny jokes, or I made too many funny jokes, or something like that. Let's see. Oh no, okay, the joke was too funny. So let's see. Sono jodan wa omoshiroku nasasugita. Let's see, to form, to make. That's it. Let's see, it's a negative conjunction. See, so omoshiroi becomes, which is interesting. Omoshiroi becomes omoshirokunai, which becomes omoshirokunasu. Okay, that joke was too much. That joke was too much. Not funny. Okay. So try Boonpro yet. All my examples have been coming from there. Let's see. Yeah, I use Boonpro whenever I'm looking specific things up. What is this conjugation you did of turning Moshirokunai to Omoshirokunasa? I don't get that conjugation. Where did that come from? From the nai to nasa. Makes it a noun. Is nasa like some sort of helper? Oh, okay. So it's basically like an adverb that when you change it from. Let me look that up. So is the noun and a modification to the other verb, or is it like a helper word being attached to the end, or what is it exactly? You said it makes it a noun, but what is that kind of transformation? Let's see. Makes it a noun. Takai becomes Takasa. Oh yeah, I think I remember that now. That's right. I remember it with Takai. That's right. Takai becomes Takasa. Uh, I think that's Nagai becomes Nagasa. Let's see. Nagai. Or not Nagai, but Nagai. Long becomes Nagasa. Length. Is the the on the end basically considered a helper word? It sort of like how nai is considered a helper word. Is the sa on the end considered its own helper word? Let's see. Hiroi becomes hirosa. Hirosa, space area. Wait, yeah, hirosa, extend area size. By hiroi, space. So let's see. You can turn as wa. I consider it to be a grammar point because I use it any adjective I want. Toimashita. Let's see. Although some make more sense than others. Uh, yeah, but usually when something's called a grammar point in Japanese, it's nothing more than like something logical in the language, but they don't want to explain what the logic is, and so they just call it a grammar point. That's usually what most of the grammar points in Japanese are. Like some underlying logic on how the language operates that they don't want to bother to explain. See, Bunpo calls it a suffix. See, sa at the end of Japanese adjectives a helper word. Let's see if anything comes up with that. It's a normalizer for adjectives. Ness. Yasashi. Yasashi. Yasasa. Niceness. Yeah, basically turn it into a noun. Like, oh, interesting note. Like, this might be taught as a grammar point. Let's see, Bunpo calls it a suffix. They originate from. Okay, this difference, variation. Ah, okay. Let's see, sushi, between, or sa, difference, variation. Okay, then yeah, it sounds like sa is just a helper word at this point. Japanese has tons of helper words. The whole language is built on them. Like, for example, tabe saseru is not actually one verb. That's actually two verbs. It's tabe and saseru. And you usually have the saseru acting on the main topic of the sentence, and you have tabe would be acting on the subtopic of the sentence or the clause within the sentence. But like, yeah, tabe saseru is taught to be a conjugation of taberu, and it's taught as one verb, but it's not actually one verb. It's actually two verbs. Yeah, it's a helper verb, but the way the helper verb's acting is basically uh the helper verb's acting on the main noun, and the other verb is acting on the clause noun. So essentially, the two verbs were acting on different parts of the sentence, that's how it's helping, basically. But yeah, it is a helper verb, essentially. And it's very important to not think of it as one verb because tabe saseru, the tabe part's acting on a completely different noun in the sentence than the saseru is acting on. Right, so warau. So 赤ちゃん坊が笑っています。
赤ん坊が笑っています。
We're not 赤ちゃん but 赤ん yeah. 赤ん坊が笑っています。
赤ん坊が笑っています。
赤ん坊が笑っています。Oh yeah, I was noticing there's a mawaru, which is circle. Then there's mawaru to rotate, but that's the intransitive form of it. And then mawasu to rotate, the transitive form of it. So basically the word for to rotate, you delete the wa in the center of it and you get the word for a circle. Yes, yes, mawaru. Yes, that kanji. But I was just noticing that pattern in constructions of different words. I know it's not the same kanji like, here's the kanji. Here's the kanji for circle. So that's another kanji for mawaru. I'm not sure if there's any nuance differences between using those two kanji. Let's see. Hanareru. Let's see, so Jika o 4年間離れていました。
離れる。実家を4年間離れていました。
離れる。実家を4年間離れていました。
実家を4年間離れていました。実家を4年間離れていました。
実家を4年間離れていました。離れていました。4年間実家。状況。この状況では出発は難しいです。この状況では出発は難しいです。
状況。この状況では出発は難しいです。
この状況では出発は難しいです。難しい状況、出発、状況、and then 出発。悪い。あの人は悪い人です。
悪い。
あの人は悪い人です。
あの人は悪い人です。悪い人。 sugiru. Toki ga sugiru no wa hayai. Toki ga sugiru no wa hayai.
過ぎる。時が過ぎるのは早い。
Sugiru. Toki ga sugiru no wa hayai. Sugiru toki. Let's see. In this sentence, this is read as not hoka, but as ta. So, ryugakusei wa Ajiajin ga oku. Ryugakusei wa Ajiajin ga oku. Sono ta wa 3割です。
他、留学生はアジア人が多く、その他は3割です。
留学生はアジア人が多く、その他は3割です。OK。留学生はアジア人、OK。留学生はアジア人が多く、その他は3割です。割、3、他、多く、人、アジア、留学生。野球。So this is Q. Okay, 野球。野球は9人で1チームです。
9、野球は9人で1チームです。
野球は9人で1チームです。By the way, Turn this card has a mistaken mistake somewhere on it, either in the text or in the audio. What is the correct reading for this card? I assume the text is the correct reading and the audio is wrong, but I was curious on that. Let's see. 子供の頃は友達と遊んだものだ。Let's see if I'm reading that right. See, 子供の頃, time of one's childhood, when one was a child. What is kodo? Approximate time, around, about. So kodomo no koro would be childhood time. Okay. Kodomo no koro wa yoku tomodachi to osonda mono da. So playing with friends thing. So often. So your childhood is a time of playing with friends often. Is that what I think you're saying? So kodomo no koro wa yoku tomodachi to osonda mono da. Let's see, and it translates to, let's see, I used to play with my friends when I was a kid. Okay, so yoku. Isn't yoku supposed to be frequently, often, or well? Oh, I see. Because you have da on it. That's why it's being made as like more of a statement. I used to play. The noun mono, which is defined by playing with friends often during childhood. You're saying I do that, but I do that essentially. Or mono, or base. There's no watashi in here, but since I do mono essentially. Okay, I see. And the other things to the left of it is just a clause defining mono. Oh, uh, what's the automod saying that it shouldn't be? What's the automod blocking that it shouldn't be blocking? What were you trying to say? Uh, the sentence you were saying, what was it related to? Wait, was something in Romanji? Uh, any of those particular Romanji words, something about your card's pronunciation? I was asking, the text you see on the card, is that the correct pronunciation? Let's see, the furigana is correct on the sample sentence. Okay, that means it must be the audio that's wrong because because the audio is different from the text, and basically someone confirmed that the card is wrong and they needed to fix it. Yeah, you can just message me that sentence in a DM on Twitch, and I'll look at that sentence and try to figure out why it was being blocked. There should be no moderation on that. Q, okay. よやき、Q、野球は9人で1チームです。
野球は9人で1チームです。
驚く、驚く。夜中に道で大きな声がして驚きました。
驚く。
夜中に道で大きな声がして驚きました。夜中に道で大きな声がして驚きました。夜中に道で大きな声がして驚きました。
夜中に道で大きな声がして驚きました。驚きました。So 驚く. This is the kanji for horse at the bottom. I'm not sure what these other two kanjis are from, but you can think of being surprised because you're seeing all of a sudden seeing a horse come out of nowhere, like on a road or something, which is a rare sight to see unless you're in the country. Odoroku. Okay, my theory on what's going on with that wrong pronunciation. Yeah, okay. Just message me again on that word that was blocked, and I'll look into it. But my theory on why it's saying hito for one is I think it's a cut off version of the word hitotsu. So if you think about it, that was blocked, really? Let me make a note of that. Okay, anyway, what I was saying is, I suspect on that previous card that Hito comes from Hitotsu, and so, but they're just cutting off the last part of this sound, so, because if you remember, there's a 1 there, and Hitotsu means basically 1, essentially, or, so I think that was the pronunciation error there. I don't know what you mean by best viewers. Uh, it's basically just a word block list what I use. Oh, yeah. I basically have a whole bunch of words on the block list to try to stop bots, like what's commonly said with bots. Yeah, that's what I do. It's just that there's so many possible things. Yeah, I mostly have like things bots would say and vulgar expressions on the block list. Mm. Well, what I try to do is I look at the entire spam phrase and I find something that would not likely be said by someone in the phrase. Usually bots always have something that's hardly ever said in the phrase. Anyway, let's continue. Odoroku. 夜中に道で大きな声がして驚きました。
夜中に道で大きな声がして驚きました。
上を向いて
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 家ここが私の家です。
ここが私の家です。
ここが私の家です。私。Can also be read as uchi. 世界の地図はありますか？
世界の地図はありますか？
世界の地図はありますか？世界 and 地図。旅行に行く旅行に行く気があるか let's see. 彼女に I think that's Ida. That's right, Ida. に see 彼女に let's see. Ida から
き、
旅行に行く気があるか彼女に聞かれました。旅行に行く気があるか彼女に聞かれました。旅行に行く気があるか彼女に聞かれました。
横に行く気 Oh, this pronounces yeah. 横に行く気があるか So this is basically a traveling spirit. So does a traveling spirit exist? That's what this is saying. That's literal translation. Or temperament, traveling temperament, aka willing to travel. And then 彼女 see 彼女に oh wait 聞かれました. Oh, so this is kiku. So kika. That's right. Kiku is a go-down verb. So it would be you'd be in the receptive form. You'd add reru to it. But in the desumasu past tense, it'd be I believe it would be kika. Wait, this is either receptive or this is receptive, also called passive, or this is the ability. I think it's the ability considering the translation. Kikare. Let's look at the conjugations of kiku. Kiku. Kiku conjugations. Let's see. Kikareru becomes kikaremasu, which becomes kikaremashita. Rareru is passive form. The subject has no control over the action. She asked if I'm willing to travel. Question though, but in that particular type of statement, is it the passive form or could it be the potential form? Because do you have the potential of travel? Could be another way of interpreting this sentence. So could it be the potential form and not the a passive form? Oh, potential uses e. Oh, that's right. Potential uses e. There we go. Kiku conjugations. Imperative form, imperative kike, imperative polite, kiki night. nasai. Okay, that's very polite. Provisional conditional ki tara. Here we go. Potential form ki keru. Present indicative. Okay. Potential polite form kikemasu. And then passive form kikaremasu. Or passive polite with passive plain kikareru, yeah. Okay, so byoko ni iku ki ga aru ka? She asked if I was willing to travel. Byoko ni iku ki. So we're basically talking about a traveling spirit or and then existing. But then it goes immediately into kanojo, which would imply that this clause is modifying kanojo, but that's not what the translation seems that it's modifying. I know this is supposed to be an embedded question, so let's see. Kanojo ni let's see. Kikaremashita. So ramashita is the outer verb that affects the other noun over here. And kika is the inner verb. The kika affects kanojo. So kanojo ni kika, she asked, and remashita. So the person she asked, so someone was the receiver of the asking. But I don't know, this seems strange the way it's organized. See, the particles modifying the main verb are ka and ni. Let's see, ga was dropped, but watashi is implied. Okay, my confusion is over the fact that we have the embedded question right next to kanojo with nothing in between. That doesn't seem to make any sense to have an embedded question right here, right next to kanojo. I know ka isn't modifying the kanojo. I know that's how the translation makes it sound, but the way it's positioned, it doesn't seem positioned. It seems positioned in a way in which this whole embedded in question is modifying the kanojo. So, what would this look like if you had some more words and particles thrown in and the sentence didn't have anything dropped? Well, maybe it is a little bit. So let's see. Ryoko ni iku ki. So yeah, ryoko ni iku is modifying ki. So we're talking about the type of spirit or temperament, the traveling spirit or temperament. Ga aru ka. So we're asking if ki exists. You could add koko de before kanojo. And haha ga. Wait, haha ga? Okay, I don't get the ha ga part. See, all the stuff to the left of ka is what ka is marking. And ka gets associated with kiku. Oh, that's right, because when you do embedded questions, you can often drop particles. I think it was wo and ga or something like that. I don't remember exactly. That's right, you often drop other particles. So in this case, if we assume that ka could be replaced with some other logical particle, because that's what often happens in embedded questions, then if it was wo, then this would be the object of the sentence. So that would mean the outer sentence would be something like watashi wa or watashi ga all this question aremashita, or basically I received this question would be the outer sentence. I received this question, and then the inner sentence would be uh she asked. So she asked me this question. Which yeah. Now that would make sense if you replace this ka right here with a wo, and so maybe something like that. I don't know. I'm gonna study this sentence some more later. So, Byoko ni iku ki ga aru ka kanojo ni kikare mashita. See, Turner says it's passive form. You have no control over her asking the question. Yeah, from what I was studying on passive form, it's best to think of it more as the receptive form. So not so much of control based, but basically if you're receiving something, it's the receive form. Just like the causative form is when you cause or basically give something off to someone. The passive form is the reverse of that. It's the receptive form. You receive, essentially. So from my understanding, the noun would probably be something like watashi ga, watashi wa. So the outer sentence would be watashi wa object remashita, or I received this object, and the object is defined as this question here. 旅行に行く気があるか? That's what you received. And this clause tells you who you received it from. 彼女の気か, you receive. You. Let's see, wait. Oh, that's right. Maybe this. Oh, okay. Maybe I should actually think of this whole thing as the internal clause. So, a lot of times with wo, you would see noun ni some verb, and this is like an example of what this would be. Te ni irete, which was commonly used in that video game Koei, which is basically you could think of it as basically a created verb meaning to receive, essentially, but it literally translates to place in hand, or aka received, and that's essentially what this construction is right here. Kanajo ni kika, to be told by her. And what's to be told by her? Well, this object right here. Ryoko ni iku ki ga aru ka. So you were told by her this, so this right here, I would say, is probably the inner sentence, or the clause. You were told by her this, and then the outer sentence would be, watashi wa rameshita, or I received being told by her this question. And that's I believe, the logic of the passive or receptive form. Yeah, indirect questions, I believe, are also referred to as embedded questions as well. For example, like, do you know where he is going? Where he is going would be the embedded question or the indirect question.
旅行に行く気があるか彼女に聞かれました。
旅行に行く気があるか、彼女に聞かれました。The question for this sentence is, is ka replacing wo? Because I believe that's how the grammar of the sentence is built. Onna. テニンは若い女の人でした。
店員は若い女の人でした。
店員は若い女の人でした。やっぱり or やはり。Oh yeah, this is another example of that class of nouns I was talking about earlier. How there's the normal nouns, the pseudo nouns, the keiyo doshi, or the na adjectives, which is just another class of nouns. And then there's the, I believe it was nouns that don't need wo particle. And like, yapari, when it's being used adverbally, doesn't need the wo particle. So, yapari, let's see, yapari let's see this. This was some word for travel. I'm trying to remember. So, yapari something ga daisuki da. Let's see what does dictionaries call this type of word? So, yapari, this was ta something.
やっぱり旅が大好きだ。
Oh, tabi, travel. やっぱり旅が大好きだ. I really love to travel after all. Or that'sやっぱり or やはりやっぱ
り旅が大好きだ。
やっぱり旅が大好きだ. 旅木旅行に行く気があるか彼女に聞かれました。
木、
旅行に行く気があるか彼女に聞かれました。旅行に行く気があるか彼女に聞かれました。旅行に行く気があるか彼女に聞かれました。
旅行に行く 旅行に行く気があるか彼女に聞かれました。旅行に行く気があるか彼女に聞かれました。Slightly idiomatic usage. Some figurative, not non-literal. Okay. ちゃんと 今朝はちゃんと食べましたか
ちゃんと。朝食はちゃんと食べましたか？
Oh, 朝食. So what was kesa then? Kesa. Oh, that kesa was this morning. That's right. 朝食
朝食はちゃんと食べましたか？
朝食はちゃんと食べましたか So ちゃんと朝食
朝食はちゃんと食べましたか？
朝食はちゃんと食べましたか朝食食べました朝食やっぱり旅が大好きだ。
やっぱり旅が大好きだ。
やっぱり旅が大好きだ。大好きやっぱり困る。 komaru. So, keitai o nakushite, komatte imasu.
困る。携帯をなくして困っています。
komaru. 携帯をなくして困っています。携帯困ってなくして from なくす I believe it was なくす yes なくす人間の心は人間の心はsee在something
人間の心は複雑です。
oh zatsu that's right zatsu that's right because I believe this is the same kanji used in zashi yes zashi人間 okay 人間の心は複雑です。雑複雑 or I believe it was like rough and mini or something like that between the two kanjis. Fukuzatsu. First one meaning something like multiple. Second one meaning something like rough, crude, and hence multiple rough or crude things is complex, aka complex in this sentence. So, 人間の心は複雑です。複雑。ちゃんと、朝食はちゃんと食べましたか？
ちゃんと。朝食はちゃんと食べましたか？
朝食はちゃんと食べましたか？ちゃんと、朝食。something に好きじゃありません。So not liking something. Let's see.
別に。
別に好きじゃありません。
Oh, 別に好きじゃありません。So normally 好きじゃありません would be don't like. but in this case, betsu is distinction, so it's describing the type of not. So you're not saying you don't like something, you don't like it distinctly. You could like it a little bit, but you don't like it distinctly. Hence why it gets translated to I don't particularly like it, because you can like it a little with betsuni, you just don't like it distinctly. So, betsuni tsugi ja arimasen. Betsuni tsugi ja arimasen.
別に好きじゃありません。
別に好きじゃありません。別 Yeah, betsu ni means like, yeah, separately, distinctly. But from what I understand when I was trying to... Okay, well, from what I was trying to understand when it was combined with nai, like what the nuance of the word is within the Japanese, when you say, when you have a descriptor and then not like with nai, you're saying you don't like something, but when you have like a descriptor like betsu, yeah, I know it can be used to mean especially, but when you have it, from what I got when I was trying to read up on someone explaining the grammar is you're basically using like a betsuni, like an adverb, meaning like distinctly. It's describing the type of dislike when used with nai. So you don't like it distinctly, which, or it doesn't exist distinctly. In this case, with ski means the likeness, liking it does not exist distinctly. See, so betsuni blah 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 nai means something cannot be separated or differentiated. But notice in that definition, you're saying something cannot be separated. You're not saying that there are no differences. You're just saying there's no significant differences between it. Let's see. Maybe it is a little a, maybe it is a lot a, but in any case, it cannot be said that it is a. But yeah, that's basically how I understood it. And I think in animes, though, they often, when they just say Betsuni by itself, the nai is just basically implied in the sentence. Okay, so, Shitsumon ga arimasu ka? Are there any questions or other questions? Let's see. I don't know. Seems like you need more words than you. What do you mean by that? I don't know what you mean by that. See, hanasu, something beru. See, no beru, to state, to express, to say, to mention. No beru, hanasu. Oh yeah, oh that's right, you're referring to how I always use e when saying things. Okay. No beru. And then let's see. Skeru, to tell, to inform, to announce. Oh, that's actually, that last one's a word I saw on Anki recently. Uh, Staeru. That's what it was, Staeru. To convey. Staeru. Let's see, Shaberu, to talk, to chat, to chatter. Simoshi ageru. Let's see. Boy, isn't Moshi ageru basically to say, essentially? Moshi ageru. Moshi ageru. To say, to tell, yes. See, then there's Setsumei suru, explain, because Setsumei is Keiyo Doshi. No, not Keiyo Doshi, but it's a suru verb, which I'm sure that suru verbs have another name other than suru verb. Suru verb. What is a suru verb called? And then there is, let's see. See, kokuhaku, to confess. So kokuhaku suru, to confess. Profession of faith, confession to a crime, wrongdoing. So they all have different levels of formality and usage context. See, monogatari, to tell a story, to give an account. Monogatari. So what is gataru by itself, I wonder? Gataru. So that may, let's see, from kataru, to talk about. Kataru, to speak of, to narrate. Actually, I have not heard of monogatari by now. I've not come across that word. But I'm sure it's related to monogatari. Storytelling, yeah, I figured it'd be that. Monogatari. Narrative, account, fable, legend. Kataru. See, there's also a bunch of verbs along the lines of kotaeru. Yes, I've come across kotaeru. See, tones. Tones wa. Oh, really? It pops up in anime titles from time to time. Kotaerimasu. Would you say to kotaerimasu? Or would you say wo kotaerimasu? Because I know with iu you use to. But I'm not sure whether you'd use wo or to. I'm thinking you use to. See, need to mark the thing being replied to. Wa for doing. Wa for who does the replying. My recommendation would be, blah chips would be to use this this deck right here, the Kaishi 1.5K, because unless you have a ridiculous amounts of time to study, you basically need to use Anki to get a base vocabulary, and then once you get a base vocabulary, you need to do immersion training. You can't be spending so much time doing Anki anymore. You gotta start doing with immersion training. And if you just have this ridiculously large size Anki deck, you're never going to have time to do both immersion training and the Anki deck. So, Kaishi 1.5K is 1,500 very common words used in Japanese. And then that should be a good enough basis that you could attempt to start doing immersion training from there. Okay, so Tona says you use the to quotation particle for kotaeru. Yeah. Tona is actually, from what he told me, does several hours of immersion training and like 1 or 2 of Anki a day. And but basically he's taking advantage of the fact he has so much time to study that he can still train with very large Anki decks and not hinder his immersion training too much. But if you have more limited time, you basically want a small enough Anki deck to get base vocabulary and then move on to immersion training. Let's see, wool, if it's a noun like shitsumon. Yeah, if you're getting 1 to 2 hours of study a day, then oh wait. Most days you only get 1 to 2 hours? Don't you have a ridiculously sized Anki deck? How do you go through your Anki deck, keep up with your Anki deck, and do a lot of immersion training? I thought you said you had many hours of immersion training. Okay, so maybe that's the thing. If your verb is reacting to a noun, you would use wo. If it's reacting to a clause, you use to. I think that's the difference between it. So you finish your Anki review in 40 minutes each day. How many? Don't you have like over a couple thousand words in your Anki deck? To is the reply. Yeah. Same as you. You only spent like. I'm just in the process of reviewing about 500 words in this Anki deck right now. The other 1,000 hasn't been introduced to me yet, and I'm spending roughly 2 hours going through my Anki deck, and I still can't even keep up with review. As you see, I still have like 87 more words to review that I should be reviewing, but I'm running out of time. Let's see, 358 total, 34 new, 231 young, 86 mature, 3 suspended. 20 new per day. Oh, that's strange. I thought you had a much larger Anki deck than that. Yeah, that's the issue I'm having is I'm getting into the 400 and 500 words and the total reviews. Let's see, average review interval 18 days. Yeah, so reviewing is taking up all my time, which is the reason why I was saying is once you learn some base vocabulary, chips, you want to just take it and do immersion training. Because no amount of Anki will actually get you really understanding Japanese. You have to go to immersion training at some point. Oh, yeah, you quit Anki and got back into it 3 weeks ago. Made a new deck so you don't feel bad about the power reviews that got made. Uh, so, did I answer your question, Blau Chips? Is there any other questions? So, rules for adding to this new deck is if it's a cool word or a word I knew but forgot the kanji for. Though I believe you don't have to have so many basic words in your deck because you know a lot of the words already. See, I recommend making your own deck and downloading some and seeing if they're useful to you. Now, that's what I did. I downloaded the Kaishi 1.5K, and the words I've seen in it so far in this deck seem to be pretty basic in words that are needed. So, yeah, what I plan on doing is when I finally get through this entire deck of 1,500 words, is I'm going to start reading stories more and trying to understand animes line by line more. See, with making your own, you have to do a bunch of research about the word. Then that gets into the question of, is it more time efficient to understand a lot of the 1,500 words a little bit, or is it more time efficient to understand a small amount of words very well? Let's see, and add it to the cards. Yeah, because one methodology I saw for studying is that wait, did you mean to write? Let's see, it's the same idea behind making a crib sheet for a test. Let's see, crib sheet. Heard that term before, but I've never actually really used it. What is a crib sheet for a test? Oh, cheat sheet, yeah. It's a concise set of notes used for quick reference. Okay. Okay, so you said the word cards, CARDS, was blacklisted, if I understood you correctly? Yeah, yep, because you do the research for finding out formality level, which context to use it in, etc. Then you can just recall that when you review it in Anki. Alpha, that is weird how I never noticed that in there. I'll look at my block list. Let's see. Hmm. Yeah. So anyway, what I was saying is one methodology I saw for studying is someone was saying you doing your own research on the word. Their thought line of thinking was that you're never going to really get a good enough understanding of the word, and so the whole point is to understand the word well enough so that it can be classified as comprehensible input. And then when you have a very rough understanding of a bunch of words, you can then start doing immersion training, and that's when you really learn what the words mean. But they're saying it's better to uh, understand as many words roughly as you can, so then you can move on to the next stage, versus trying to understand a much smaller set of words well. And that was one study theory. Uh, it's one of the just take off. Uh, you actually don't need that to do that. Have you heard of the Brave search engine? What you're describing, if you type a Japanese word space grammar, the Brave search engine at the top will do an AI display of the meaning behind the word and all that. And I think that's actually what you're looking for. So you should try using that, just the Brave search engine, and just say like some Japanese word grammar, or like this word versus this word grammar, and it would basically explain the grammar differences. Try to explain the grammar differences between the two words. I think that's totaru. Yeah, oh, that's ataru. Ataru. So yeah, we can test that out right now. Let's see. Ataru grammar. And okay, and here's the AI response on Brave. Ataru is a Japanese verb that can be translated to hit or to strike. In grammar, it is often used in various contexts to convey different meanings. Here are some key points to understand. Transitive and intransitive. Ataru can be both transitive and intransitive as a transitive verb. It also takes an object meaning to hit or to strike something. For example, boru o ataru, ball to hit or hit the ball. An intransitive verb, as an intransitive verb, it does not take an object meaning to hit or to strike without specific target. For example, ataru, to hit, to strike. Aspect. Ataru can be used in different aspects such as present, ataru, to hit, to strike now. Past, atatta, hit, struck. Past continuous, atatte ita, was hitting, was striking. Past perfect, atatta koto ga atta, had hit, was had struck. Idiomatic expressions. Ataru is often used in idiomatic expressions such as ataru, to hit the mark or target. To be in the right place, to be lucky or fortunate. Keep in mind that the nuances of ataru grammar can be complex, and its usage may vary depending on the context and situations. For more detailed information, consult the reliable Japanese language courses or native speakers. And it says it pulled this summary you see right, I just read from JISO, Japan Dick, and from Japan Test for you. But yeah, that's an example of what you can do with it. Let's see, literally what it gives me with the prompts I use. All I do is feed it all the definitions from various dictionaries I have in Yummy Time, and ask it to come up with a core idea based on it. Oh, so you have the AI just look through the dictionaries only. Okay, well, are there any other questions? If there's no other questions, then we're gonna go and raid, let's see, Ayawuasa? Minasan, お気をつけて、また明日. Goodbye, everyone. see you tomorrow.